So you think you fucked up your manifestation, huh? There's already so much content about manifestation. Why should you listen to one more voice? And a brand new one at that. You don't know me. So you think you fucked up your manifestation, huh? That's maybe not exactly what happened. Let's think it through. Does this sound familiar at all? You really, really want this thing. Whatever this thing is, it is going to be the end all be all. You will find your joy, your happiness, your groundedness. You will find your wholeness, your you-ness. You'll be back. So we go to manifest this thing. We put this thing on our vision board. We start listening to subliminals. We're doing affirmations. We're journaling about it. We're trying to heal the things and learn the things and grow from the things, but not really taking too much stock in that part. We're really focused on, let me make sure that this is what I'm consuming. Let me make sure that I'm focused on this thing because it's the law of attraction. And so what I think I'll attract, and it's the law of assumption. If I just assume it's already happened, then it is. Well, I mean, those things are true. But energy attracts energy. Like energy attracts like energy. That's just physics. Now, what does that mean? That means if you are doing all this manifesting, if you are creating the vision board and doing the meditations and saying the affirmations, and you have post-it notes covering a whole wall and on every mirror of your house, but you're still dealing with heartbreak, that sneaky little grief still's popping up. Maybe you really, really want this thing, but deep down you don't feel like you actually deserve this thing. Maybe you haven't fully come to understand who you are yet. Maybe you're in between belief systems. Maybe you're actively questioning a current belief system. Maybe whatever the fuck. I think you see what I'm getting at. Because when you're manifesting from a broken place, you may still get it because, again, what we consume ourselves with is what we attract, what we think is. We do create our realities. It just might show up a little crooked. And I've had this happen. I've had so many crooked manifestations because so many of us out here are walking around as master fucking manifestors. But then what happens is Earth, humans happen. The voices, the chatter, society, religion. Humans. It always comes down to the humans. So it's our parents, our pastors, our teachers, our siblings, our friends. It is literally everything around us that tells us that we're not what we think we are, nor what we want to be, and that it's gonna take literal hell for some people and literal high water for some people in order to make some changes and be successful and great and healed and all the things. So I've called in manifestations. I've called in some doozies. I called in 100 acres on a mountaintop in North Carolina next to a river. I literally specifically said, I want 100 acres in North Carolina. I want at least 4 or 5 houses and outbuildings so that I can use the spaces for retreats. I want it next to water. I want to be accessible to water. I want to be able to walk right out of my house and right up to the water. I want to have forests and wildlife and the most beautiful, amazing views, and I consumed myself with that. Now, it was not escapism because this was actually a lifelong dream. I had been wanting to move to North Carolina since I was 9, but some things happened And those are stories for another time. But in 2020, 2021, I really just made it my business to be like, you know what? Now is the time. So let's manifest North Carolina. And by July of 2022, I was there on my 100 acres on top of a mountain that was filled with quartz next to the Tow River. And I had the most beautiful, amazing views, surrounded by forest, with 5 houses on the property, 3 usable ones, 1 adorable cabin that I mainly used for retreats and for when my family visited and for when I just wanted a change of scenery from the house I was living in. It was magical. But I manifested it from a broken place. I was actively healing some of the biggest life changes I would ever have to navigate. And so what happened? There were some things wrong with the house. The landowners ended up being challenging. And then Hurricane Helene happened and booted my ass right on out of there. Literal high water for some people. And I was displaced for over a year with my disabled son. So was that the place I was meant to be long term? I thought so, but no. I was meant to be there for a season. And because I had manifested from a healing place and not having healed the wounds that were helping me manifest, everything went sideways. Because I was manifesting from a crooked place, I wasn't able to hear the prompts saying, hey, you're only supposed to be here for a season. I had manifested it so hard. I had put so much of myself into it. So of course I thought that was a long-term thing because I actually got it. That's just not how the spirit realm works. That's not how our attitudinal ancestors work. That's just not how angels, priests, priestesses, gods, goddesses, saints, whatever ethereal beings you believe in, they don't operate like we do. So, crooked manifestations. If you're manifesting from a crooked place, your manifestation is going to come out a little crooked. And it's not anything you've done wrong. It's just some gaps that you haven't noticed yet. So let's all just keep healing and growing together so that we can have our wicked, awesome manifestations and leave those crooked ones behind. So right now I'm in a holding pattern. So I am waiting to hear what my next move is. I'm in full surrender mode and it is amazing. And sometimes you have to be healed enough to know when you just need to be still. And I'm really grateful to have gotten to that place. And I wish you that place too. Sending you all those good healing vibes. Bye.